All right. Okay, so it looks like it's going to work. We shall see. All right, so apparently I'm live, but I cannot see what's happening on the screen. So I'm just going to go for a little bit and just see what happens. Normally I can see it on the screen. Okay, so this afternoon I just have the need to do a bit of composing, and I thought you might like to join me on the ride. So what I've done is I've just loaded a few instruments in here just for a bit of a chilled back kind of, just whatever, composing. Just getting some nice, real long, just chilled vibes. Friday afternoon and all. So I'll just show you a couple of the instruments that I have loaded at the moment. One's called it's actually called a Varel grid. Yeah, it's a very wide, spacious sound, and I've got it set on a few different presets in there to give it a nice, gritty sort of. It's got some dull bits and some sharp bits that sort of swell in and out. But then I've got it running through an effects as well. It gives it a little bit of a rhythm that matches the tempo of the template that I've got set up already. Okay, so that's just one of the instruments, and I'm just going to play around with a few long chords, and they just take ages to sort of pop through after I press the keys. As you can see, maybe not see, I can't see. I also have just some strings, and they really are sort of just very, very lightly played by the orchestra. So almost like the bows are just barely touching the strings. It's like a 40 or 50 piece violin section. And violas, I believe. It's not just not just high violins, it's the high strings. So it'll be the violins and violas. But that's a lovely sound in itself. And I've got some low strings. It's got some good depth in there, except they're very quiet, and I'll have to probably crank them up a little bit. There we go, a little bit of volume on those. Cool. And along with those, I just have a little bit of just very, very gentle percussion. You can probably hear my keys hitting the keyboard more than you can hear the drums themselves. But along with that, I've got a women's choir loaded. And that's actually quite a nice sound. So I think once we start combining these things, it'll be really lovely. And then on top of all that, I have just a beautiful piano. So what I might do, I might just warm up a little bit with some piano and just get some ideas out, which is generally what I do. And I'm not necessarily going to start with piano when I do the recording, but we'll just see what comes out. I want to try and keep it light, try and keep it sort of ethereal and almost transcendental. Not trying to sound airy-fairy or anything like that, but I want to make it sound like we are at the end of the week and we're completely detached from whatever else came before. Ooh. One way you can do that is actually just by not having a tempo and just going free flow. And I'm in the key of D. I'm playing in C, but I've transposed it to be in the key of D. And yes, I'm just playing around. I don't know. We've got the more happy chords. And one of the tricks I have is playing static music as opposed to dynamic music. And the difference between the two is static music feels like it's not going anywhere. It's just still. And that can be really nice for just holding the space. And by doing that, one of the tricks I do is to hold a low note and don't move from it, no matter what the top note does. I can be playing C and then go to F, G, and I can do anything that's A minor. So you can see it's not going anywhere. And I'll show you a dynamic. See how it's different? It feels different. I'm moving my lower notes. Now play the same thing with just the same note down the bottom. Now go dynamic, move it around. I think we'll try and keep it in a major key like that at the moment. And so what I might do is I might just start with the slowest instrument to play, because that sort of gives me a little bit of a something to hook other things onto. Is like a foundation, having something slow to play. So I'll gives a little bit of a static foundation. But what I will do is I'll give us a tempo, click track, and a click track is something you play along to keep the tempo. I might just change the tempo to be a little slower. See how I changed my mind halfway through? I said I was going to do static, but I've moved my bottom notes around. This is how fresh it is. I don't know what I'm going to do. It just happens. Right, so it's giving us a little bit of a something to work on. I might just leave it at that, just to keep it short and sweet. Let that just play out. Alright, okay. I might try the choir initially. Now they're very loud, so I've got to pull them right back. we'll just see. You know, and I'm starting over here, so we'll just reach on there. All right. Cool. That was nice. Nice and light. I didn't actually record that. I better record it. Try that again. And I made a mistake. Okay, cool. It's not too bad. I think I might just adjust the level up a tiny bit, and I'll add a little bit more reverb to it, just to give it a bit more space, make it kind of more angelic. And I will now go over to the high strings. Let's see what sounds good. I'll just have a play. Okay, so I'm going to pull back the Viral grid a little bit. It's a bit too loud for my liking. So the high strings, I've got to add some reverb to it. It sounds good by itself, but once it's in the mix, it just needs a little bit more space again. There we go, that gives it a bit of space. Now, I'm also, I was going to put a bit of EQ and take some top end off it, but I'm not going to do that now. Let's just see. I want to record, see what comes out, see if I want to keep it. Oh. There's something funny going on with the choir there, just bear with me. Control this mod wheel. Alright, okay. Just hold a single note. I think the single note's good for now. Like I said before, static music, holding the space. Very, very slow. Just two notes, hardly changing. Alright, that's good. Sometimes simple is best. Cool. Now, to give a bit more definition to those notes, to those chords, rather than make it sound all sort of one mushy sound, I'm going to add some lower strings and give us a bit of bass, which you may find hard listening to on a phone, unless you've got earplugs in or headphones in like this. But I recommend doing it if you can. Alright. Let me have a play and see what sounds good. I might not bring him in until halfway through. Just keep it up high. Just the one position, just the one place for now. We'll just see. There's the movement. Alright, that finishes the round, but I didn't record it, did I? So let's do that again. And this time I'm going to record from partway through. No, wrong note. Okay, there we go. Add a fifth in there. Just adds a bit of extra complexity. And pull the intensity back with the mod wheel. A little. Cool. Yeah, they turned out all right. Now I just wonder how the piano would sound over top of that. If I just played a few high notes. And what I might even do is I might be tricky and send the piano out into the effects channel as well. So you can hear it's got a bit of a delay. It's got some filtering happening there as well. Anyway, let's have a listen. I'll have to have the click going for this one, just for the timing. Just gives it a bit of a definition, some punctuation. It's alright. I'll just muck around. I'll go back in and press record. Maybe. You probably can't see my fingers. I'm definitely playing the keys. A little bit out of the timing, but that's okay. going to redo it. I'm not very happy with it, actually. That's all right. Okay. Yeah, I think that's working out so far. Now let me just try. Okay, just going to crank it up in my headphones. Now I don't want to add any percussion at all until later on. Alright, cool, I've got a bit of an idea. I have to label the track first. Darwin percussion. MIDI. Wave. Okay. What I might do is I might go from the beginning and just chuck in a couple of deep. Those ones. I know it's quiet, but it's not bad. What I might do is I might actually just turn the volume up while I record it. Give me a bit more clarity on what I'm doing, and then I'll pull it back after I finish recording. All right, cool. Now what I'm going to do, this is just something I've noticed about my own playing, is I always play in front of the beat. And it's something that I've formed as a bad habit of having bad latency on a computer. So I'll just drag it over a tiny bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called a quantize, which means snapping certain beats to the grid so that they land right on one. But I'm not going to do the whole percussion. I'm just going to do the low notes, just the boom, just the big beats. So I just have to highlight those down here. Option 3. And I'm going to put them on quarter notes. And apply. And there they go. They snapped into place. And I'm going to pull the volume back just a tiny bit. Chuck a little bit of reverb on it. I know it's already big, but I'm just going to chuck a little bit more, because space on this drum is lovely. So far I think I've got a fairly good sounding piece of music. I could use any advice. I'm open. So if you feel like there's anything you think it might need, maybe just pulling the choirs back a touch. Bit too much reverb on the drums. So just pull it. All right, it's very airy, very spacious. I might add a little bit more volume on the piano and a little bit more reverb on the piano. So let's just try that again. That note's too loud, so I'll pull that back a little. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to add something else. And I think it's going to be maybe a harp, but just sort of plucked up high. So let's just have a little look. I'll go a nail pick harp, and I'll just add it to my kit while that's playing back. Bust it out to bus 5 and 6. Can't hear it in the mix. Pop it into that. It's not sharp enough, I don't think. It's too soggy. It's not working. Let's choose a different instrument. What should I choose? I'm going to go into East West Sounds, Gypsy, and I'm going to try the Cimbalom. Cimbalom? I don't know how to pronounce it. Give it a go. Might have to turn the volume down on this one. Yep. And it's also got a bit of a dull pluck to it. So I might need to take the bottom end out of that one because it's got a lot of low frequencies and they'll compete with what's already there. So I'm just going to bear with me while I take the bottom end out. Still too much. All right, it's got and a little bit too much planned in it too. It's got a nice tinny sound, but just a little bit too much. Let's see. Still not working for me. I'm not sure. I might just go a little bit more traditional because it's safe. Oh, do you know what I might do? I'm going to put in an oboe. Because an oboe is pretty close to a human sounding voice in terms of its reediness and its harmonics. So I'm just going to grab one of those and see how that sounds. Oh, take the EQ back off. All right, cool. It's a little flat. I'm not sure, maybe I need to do something a little different to those notes. It's alright. I'll do it anyway. A little corny, but sort of works. I think it'll work better with a harmony. So I'm going to pop in a flute now. Give it a softer sound. Alright, let's have a look. I'll just go normal flute. Expressive. Add. You just have to wait for it to load. Part of the fun. Okay. 7 and 8. I kind of feel like that reverb was not enough for the oboe. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Right. So I'll just play around on record. Okay. It's okay. I don't know though. I'm gonna redo it. Got some ideas, so we'll see. That was rubbish. Starting again. Pull the volume down a little. a bit fake. You can hear the loop of the flute. So what I'll do is I can actually record all of these tracks down as WAV files, which I'll do. And then I can manipulate those files. Double percussion, low strings, high strings, and the Varel grid. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tracks. Whoop. Starting from there. It's not bad. I'm liking it. It's nice. It is nice. Okay. So what I'll do now is I'll take that flute. Oh, get rid of that. And I'm just going to put a big tail fade on it. Big tail fade. So let's see how that goes. That's better. So what I'll do now is I'll just go a bit more gentle on those strings and the Varel grid. Varel grid can duck out a bit quicker. Strings can also slowly come out. Alright, so we've got a nice little fade at the end. Cool. Yeah, well, that's good. That works. Computer laptop over here that I'm streaming through is going crazy with its fans at the moment. Anyway, let me know how this sounds for you, if you can see this or hear this, but I'd really like to know. Strings are a bit intense the whole time, so I could put a VCA on those and just pull the volume in and out of those a little bit as well, but I won't do it right now. Okay. I think that'll probably do for now.